and welcome to MicroVideo's AmiPro for Windows learning system. My name is Claire Slemmer, and I'll be your guide for this course, in which we'll learn to use AmiPro version 3. AmiPro is one of the most powerful word processing programs available for personal computers, and has a reputation for being the easiest to learn and use. Version 3 comes equipped with a streamlined menu structure and new smart icons designed to perform some commonly used commands. This learning system consists of 3 parts: the video cassette you're watching, a data diskette containing all the files you'll need to complete this course, and a workbook outlining every action covered on the tape. The workbook also contains additional exercises to expand your skills and quizzes to test your knowledge of the material covered. You can use this learning system in 2 different ways. You can play the tape and work along with me at your computer, or you can watch the tape first and then complete the examples on your own using the workbook as a guide. Our course is divided into 5 segments. Briefly, the segments are AmiPro Basics, editing a document, moving, copying, and replacing text, modifying the page layout, and document formatting features. Before you begin this course, you should have a basic working knowledge of Microsoft Windows. You'll also need to have AmiPro installed on your computer. In addition, you'll need to copy the files from the data diskette into the directory containing your AmiPro for Windows documents on your hard disk. Your workbook includes instructions for copying these files. If you haven't already copied these files, please pause the tape now and install them on your hard drive. When you're ready, we'll begin by exploring some AmiPro basics. Although you may have heard the product name pronounced many different ways, the correct pronunciation, according to Lotus Development Corporation, is AmiPro. So that's the way we'll pronounce it during this course. In this segment, we'll start AmiPro, examine the program screen, and see how to access AmiPro's online help feature. Then we'll learn how to enter some text to create a short document. Finally, we'll save the document and exit AmiPro. If you're working along with me, the first thing you'll need to do is have Microsoft Windows up and running on your PC. If it's not already running, please start Windows now. If AmiPro was installed according to the instructions provided in the workbook, you should see an AmiPro icon like this somewhere on your screen. If your screen is not displaying an AmiPro icon, please consult your supervisor for instructions on loading the program. In addition, you should also see a mouse pointer in the shape of an arrow somewhere on the screen. To start the program, we position the mouse pointer over the AmiPro icon. Then, double-click on it. That is, click the left mouse button twice in rapid succession. If you double-click successfully, an AmiPro title screen appears, followed some seconds later by the program itself. If this is the first time that AmiPro is being used on your system, you'll see a Quick Start Tutorial dialog box displaying 6 buttons that provide access to AmiPro's built-in tutorials. To access any tutorial, you simply position the mouse pointer over the appropriate button and click the left mouse button once. For our purposes, we'll skip the tutorials by clicking on the Exit Tutorial button in the lower right-hand corner of the dialog box. In a moment, the AmiPro main screen appears. Let's take a moment to explore the layout of the screen. At the very top of the screen is the title bar, which displays the program name and the name of the active document, currently untitled since we haven't given this document a name yet. The area just below the title bar is known as the menu bar. It consists of the words File, Edit, View, Text, Style, Page, Frame, Tools, Window, and Help. As we'll see in a moment, we use these menus to access AmiPro's commands. Just below the menu bar is a collection of symbols known as icons or smart icons. With the mouse, we can use these icons to quickly perform common AmiPro functions. The smart icons have been designed to make their functions easy to recognize. For example, the first icon on the left that looks like a file folder with an arrow pointing away from it is used to open a file from disk, while the one next to it, with the arrow facing the other way, saves our work to disk. We'll cover many of these icons as we proceed through this course. Below the Smart Icon bar is a large area called the Document window, where any text we type will appear. Below the Document window, at the bottom of the screen, is the Status bar, which displays the style, typeface, and point size of the text we enter, as well as the current document path and some other additional information. Right above the Status bar is the horizontal scroll bar, which is used in conjunction with the mouse to scroll left and right across the width of the document. This is useful if the document is too wide to be entirely displayed on screen. To the right of the Document window is the vertical scroll bar, which allows you to scroll up and down through text. Although the Document window currently doesn't contain any text, it does contain two important objects. In the upper left corner of the Document window is a blinking vertical line called the insertion point, or cursor. This cursor shows us where the text we type will appear on the screen. In addition to the cursor, you should also see a mouse pointer somewhere on the screen. The mouse pointer will have a different appearance depending on where it's located. For example, if we move it to the smart icons, it appears shaped like an arrow. If we move it back into the Document window, it looks like a capital letter I, which is commonly referred to as an I-beam. We'll be using the mouse throughout the course to select text and execute commands. As we just saw a moment ago, the last command on the menu bar is Help. It's through this menu that we can access AmiPro's extensive online help feature that can provide us with help on any aspect of the program. Let's take a look at the Help menu now. As in any Windows program, we open an AmiPro menu either by clicking on its menu name or by pressing the keyboard's Alt key followed by the underlined letter in the menu's name, in this case, H. So, to access the Help menu, we move the mouse pointer to the word Help and click the left mouse button once. The Help menu, containing a list of help topics, drops down. The first option, Contents, provides a list of all the topics we can get information on. Using Help explains how to use the online help system. Keyboard brings up a list of keyboard shortcuts for commonly used commands. How Do I provides information on common tasks. For Upgraders, explains new features to users familiar with earlier versions of AmiPro. Quick Start Tutorial brings up the tutorial box we viewed earlier. MacroDoc contains information on creating AmiPro macros. Enhancement Products provides information on products available for AmiPro from third-party vendors. Finally, About AmiPro displays some basic licensing and copyright information about the program. Let's take a look at a list of topics we can get help on. Since Contents is already highlighted, we select this option by simply pressing Enter. And the Help Contents window appears. Notice that the Help window has a title bar and menu bar of its own, below which is a button bar containing 6 buttons that we can click on to navigate through the help system. Contents displays the Help Contents window we're currently viewing. Search lets us search for a particular help topic. Back takes us to the last help screen viewed. and History shows us a list of some of the help topics we've looked at. The final two buttons displaying arrows pointing left and right allow us to move backward and forward through the help topics. Notice that the back button and the two buttons displaying arrows are all dimmed or grayed out. This indicates that we cannot use them at this time. Below the button bar is a list of topics we can get help on. For example, to get help on AmiPro Basics, we move the mouse pointer over the word Basics until the mouse pointer turns into a hand. This indicates that clicking the left mouse button will now take us to another screen of information specific to this help topic. Let's try it by clicking once. And a content screen containing information on AmiPro Basics appears. We can get more information on any of the underlined topics now by clicking on them. We can also search for help on a particular topic by clicking on the Search button. For now, let's exit help by pressing Escape. In a moment, we'll return to the document window. Now, let's briefly explore some of the other options available on the menu bar, starting at the left with File. To select the File menu, we click on the word File, and the menu opens. Notice that the first command on this menu, New, is highlighted, and a brief description of the command appears in the title bar. In this case, it reads, Create a new document. If we press the down arrow key once, the next command, Open, becomes highlighted, and a brief description of what it does appears. We'll be exploring most of the commands on this menu later in our course, but briefly, the commands on this menu allow us to create, open, close, save, organize and print documents, as well as exit AmiPro. Notice that some of the options on this menu, such as Open and Save As, are followed by a series of 3 periods called an ellipsis. This indicates that selecting this option will lead to a dialog box that will ask us for additional information before performing the command. For example, if we select Save As by clicking on it, the Save As dialog box appears. AmiPro uses dialog boxes such as this one to ask for information it needs in order to perform the task at hand. We'll explore the specific features of this dialog box later, but for now, let's look at some features common to all AmiPro dialog boxes. First of all, notice the question mark in the upper right-hand corner of the dialog box. Clicking on this will provide context-sensitive help, that is, instructions or help related to the current topic. Let's click on the question mark now. In a moment, a help window appears containing information about the Save As command. Let's close the help